Rach, how have you been since we last spoke?
I've been good, as I say, just busy working.
After our last conversation, how have you changed in terms of the way you act financially or think financially? And have you become more ambitious financially for yourself?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, as I was saying, so I used to have a clothing business that I make handmade clothing, alternative stuff. Done that for about 5 years, and it was a good little earner. It was like extra money that I could make from it. Last year, I decided that I'd had enough and didn't want to do it anymore. So completely deleted all my social media and stuff like that. And now, 8 months later, I wanted to pick it back up again because I have missed doing it. So I've started doing that again the past couple of months, and I've started again building followers and making money from that. So I always treat that as a kind of, that's where to get me motivation to kind of build it up and do that.
That's amazing. And was that something, because obviously you'd parked it in lockdown, and it sounds like you'd kind of lost your way with it a little bit. Did our conversation help to reignite that ambition for your side hustle and passion?
Did in a way because, as I say, I mean, and then a couple of months ago, my manager she has a review with us every year about, what's happening money wise, stuff like that, what our days are. So she kept me, she said I was staying on 3 days, which is what I was on. So that sort of thought, that gave me, like, the money I was making on 3 days wasn't really enough financially every month for me to be able to make things ends meet. So that sort of helped me make a decision into going back to doing my clothes thing. So I'm doing an extra day now. So I've actually gone from 3 days to 4 days. So by default, I'm also earning more money through that. So yeah, it's actually, I am more in a better position now than what I was last time when I did speak to you. Yeah.
Would you have made those decisions and those moves if we hadn't started that conversation?
Um, See, the whole point sounds stupid. The whole point why I closed my clothing line down is last year is because when I did turn 40, I'm too old. I don't know why I'm still doing it, and
Never too old.
that's how I felt. And there's other people that do similar things to me who are like a lot younger. So it did sort of. I just totally took a totally different view of it. And then, as I say, 8 months later, I was good at it, and I know I was good at it. So it's like, why? And I enjoyed it. Why stop? Just do it.
Yeah, because you see, when we talked about finances and money, actually, I think there's a really important hangover from that conversation, which is it teaches you to value yourself. And it sounds to me like you've had a moment where you've gone, I'm not too old, I am good at this, and I should be doing it, and I'm going to go back to it. So actually, it's not just talking about finances, it's talking about value, and you've learned to better value yourself, and you've pushed yourself to take that extra day on at work. So 5 months after we first spoke, it sounds like financially you're in a much better position and feeling better about yourself as well.
Definitely, because you haven't got as much stress on your mind as well when you've got that extra money there.
It's cushion, isn't it? If you can't make ends meet, you are constantly living in a stressed state of how on earth am I going to get to the end of the month? How on earth am I going to make this work? If you know you've just got even just enough, you can sleep easy in your bed at night. And there is a massive emotional connection to finances, especially when your finances don't add up.
And as I say, I've sort of struck a bit of a deal with it on doing the extra day because like the Friday, today's the extra day I'm doing. So I would normally have to work 9 till 7, but I've asked it if I can do like 1 till 7. So it still gives me the morning to like get stuff done. Like I've finished like a cardigan I was making, I've finished that today, got that listed in my shop. It still gives me, it's like a middle ground for both me and her to sort of a compromise.
And you're helping her, she's helping you. You know, you're both, there's a value exchange there as well. That's brilliant. Do you know, I'm asking this of all the women that we're revisiting. Do you think that if the conversation we had been more present in your life through your childhood, for example, if it had been something that you'd heard other adults talking about, you would be financially fitter because it wouldn't have been such a taboo, that there would have been an ability for you to ask questions and learn.
In some respects, yeah, but then it's also, I mean, depending on what kind of career you want to go into when you're younger. I mean, I always wanted to do hairdressing, and I've always known it's not the best paid job for what you put in. So I think a lot it's to do with like career choices as well, what you make when you're younger. So if you've been told those conversations when you're young about having, money, your cushion, your savings and stuff, it might give you a different mindset into what kind of career is going to give you that fund to be able to do that, well, that wage to do that. But that's whether you've got to compromise what you really want to do for something that you're just doing for money as well.
So I have a friend who's a hairdresser and she runs her own salon. She's a single mum with two kids. And she tasked both of her children with trying to map their future. And she said to them, okay, so they both identified their career choices. So she said, okay, let's look at what a job at an early start of your career would look like. Where do you think you want to live? They identified the areas that they'd like to live in. And then she got them on, Rightmove and worked out what the cost of living would be. And then she factored in all of their bills. And then they realised that actually they were left with less than £30 to feed themselves on. If they got the job on a good salary, how are they going to do that? So she then gave them the money that was in their budget and sent them off to the supermarket and tasked them with feeding themselves for a week so that she made them live the reality of their ambition financially. Is that something you wish you'd done as a child? And also, is it something that you think your son might benefit from? Because they learned so much from it.
Yeah, definitely. It's such a shock when, I mean, I lived with my mum and dad for years, so I didn't have like bills and stuff like that to pay. And then, as I say, when I actually got my house, it was a shock of what things cost, and especially like shopping. And like we've learned now to sort of, buying fresh and cooking from scratch is a lot more cheaper than buying meals that, are already like ready made, shall we say. And
it's so much better for you as well to cook seasonally and from scratch.
yeah, I would like, I mean, to do that with Liam as well, to show him what you've just said then. I think it is a wake up call, because even at that age, I mean, he's not one to always ask for anything. Only every now and again, because he knows that I, do have struggles and stuff. So he's got a little bit of understanding about, money and value of money and stuff.
So now you've really, since we've spoken, you've upped your days, you've reopened your business, you've been driven to make actual changes. I'm trying to evaluate what the long tail value of our conversation has been with all of the women that I've spoken to. What I want to know is, can the power of conversation actually have a tangible value? Would you say that you are financially fitter as a result of that conversation?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, no, yeah, as I say, because it's like little things, as I say. So even if it was unsubconsciously there, it has actually made me make decisions about where I want to be and what I want to, like goals, isn't it?
Goals, yeah. Because people confuse talking about money with being indiscreet or vulgar or sharing their financial hardships or wins. Sometimes it's not about that. It's about the ambition that you have for yourself. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to be able to pay your bills and have a little bit left over every month. Everybody should want that for themselves, because that relieves so many of life's stresses and worries. That's what we're trying to do. And I hope that you've taken yourself from the bottom of your list and moved yourself up slightly so that you've put yourself in a more important place. Thank you, Rach. I really, do you know what? It's so lovely to check in and hear such positive change.
No, yeah, good, thank you. Mm-hmm.